Very good afternoon, my dear students. Today we want to discuss about the fish drying methods. What are the fish drying methods? How can we dry the fish? What will happen? We consume without the fish, without drying the fish. Definitely, we will face the some problems in case we consume the without drying. Because without drying fish, we can see absorb. It's a moisture like slimy. Uh, there is a scope to bacteria growth, heavy in percent. So definitely, before we are going to the uh, consume the fish material, whichever it is, definitely we should dry the methods fish. Yes, in this way there are two types of fish drying methods are there. One is traditional method, second one is advanced method. Traditional method, nothing but we used to see in the villages, which is behind the edges of coastal area, the river area, either the sea area, canals area, ponds area, because they culturing the fishes. So they know very well how to dry the fishes, the material. So in this regard, we are going to discuss about the traditional fish drying methods. Fishes are quickly spoiled if they are not properly preserved. We know the minimum preserved method is the freezing. We will freeze the food material in our houses also. The lifespan as freezer materials like 10 to 12 days. Definitely, the freezing is stop the degradation. So, freezing also a traditional and advanced method. In case the improper fish dry, if you found, definitely we will face the some problems. Fish spoilage occurs due to microbial action, enzymatic action, and chemical action. In case if it is not proper dry, the growth of microbial, the reactions of enzyme, when the fish spoilage is start, definitely the microorganisms grows, the enzymes also start to produce some kind of unwanted smells. Fish preservation can be done for short and long durations. For preserving fishes have to cleaned, degutted, and then stored. In this traditional method, first of all, we have to mm, talk about the drying and dehydration. What is the drying? Drying is the removal of water from the fish. Since water is essential for the activity of all living organisms, its removal will show down or stop the microbial activity and thus used as a method of preservation. It's a common point to dry. When it is dry, definitely the water will be dried. When the water completely dried, possible is there to stop the microorganisms growth. In this way, dehydration is the second method, almost same as sun drying, except that this process is practiced under controlled operational parameters like air temperature, relative humidity, air velocity, etc. The common practice is dry to fish in the enclosure provided with the facility to control these parameters. What exactly sun drying? The objective of drying is to remove moisture from the tissue. This method is prevents of bacteria and enzymatic action. Cleaned fish are dried in sun on the beach and sand or on mats made of air or palm leaves. First of all, if we catches the fish, harvest the fish, immediately we will dry on the sand on the edge of pond or river. On the sand are also the another thing is to palm leaves. Sometimes they are hung on bamboos. Yes, the second method is there to hang to the bamboos or wooden rods or ropes stretched horizontally between poles. Bamboos we can use, wooden rods, rope between horizontally poles hanging. Small sized and thin fishes like a ribbon fish, Bombay duck, and silver bellies are cleaned and dried in the sunshine. They can easily dry it because the thin skinned and ribbon. Large fishes are gutted and salted before drying. They are sometimes cut into pieces for drying. Quality of preservation depends on the amount of desiccation. By sun drying, the surface of fish is dried and hardened, but in fat fishes, some moisture content may be retained inside. To prevent this, the dried and shade for longer periods and such tissues degradation can be prevented to use sun-dried fishes. They are soaked in water for 1 hour to this is a sun drying method. It's a common method in the traditional method. So drying sir depends on the following factors like size of the fish. Larger fatty fishes take a long time for drying, whereas small and lean fishes dry faster. Surface area. Larger surface area of the fish increases the rate of drying. Thickness of the fish. The thicker the fish, the slower the water in the middle layers moves to reach the surface and lower the process of drying. Next, temperature. The higher the temperature, the faster is the rate of drying. This is because the diffusion of water from the deeper layer of fish to the surface is greater at a higher temperature. What is the humidity? The lower the humidity, the faster the rate of drying. Air velocity. The greater the speed of air, the faster is drying. Yes, we can see here how to the process is going on for the drying. What is the artificial drying? Fishes are cleaned and head and visceral systems are removed. The fish pieces are dried in mechanical dries to remove the water. This is followed by the immediate sealing in vacuum tins. Fish do not lose their nature, odor, and taste in this process. If we go to the mechanical drying methods, the fish not loses the texture and taste and odor and extra. Drying in electrical heaters. What will happen in the electrical heaters to dry? Electrical heaters is also called as artificial drying. Heat generated by the burning fuels or electric furnace. The fish is washed and cleaned and placed on rocks or trays are hung on ropes in drying chamber which contains a long tunnel. We can see here. hanging the rope on the long tunnels. Salt curing. Salt curing is also a major traditional method which is using from our ancestors. This is one of the oldest method, low cost. It's a very good fish preservation method in India. In this method, fishes are treated with the salt. Salt is dehydrated the killed fishes by the osmosis and enters their body tissues. Increases in concentration up to the saturation point. Concentration of salt above 25% stops the multiple of microbes and kills them. Normally, 20 kg of pure salt is required for the 100 kg of fish. Oily fish requires more salt. Salt uptake is affected by fat content, thickness of fish, freshness of fish, temperature, etc. Yes, we will discuss later about the advanced fish drying methods. Thank you.